As promised, here is a quick little tutorial on Meltwater. So going to meltwater.com, again up here in the top you see a little product login button. Go ahead and click that. I'll take you to this page right here, and you're going to choose the one on the left. So regular Meltwater. All right, and then you're going to enter in your fake email. Should be something with your team number in it, and your password. And remember, all the teams are sharing one login. All right. So once you go into Meltwater, mine might look a little bit different than yours because I think I have a couple extra features in it. But once you come in, again, up here on the left, this is where all of your toolbars are. For those of you who want to be able to access Instagram, again, you have to make the connection. So you just have to simply log in with Instagram. That's under settings. So I'll show you again very quickly. Settings. Account information up here. And if you don't already have Instagram, you can go ahead and add source, and it will prompt you and it will let you know that it's not going to post on your behalf or anything like that. It just needs to authenticate for the API to pull from Instagram. All right, so once you do that, you can also pull from Instagram. Now again, I'm just going to go over, I guess first I'll go over searches, and we'll do a second video about dashboards. So these are really the two things that you're going to be focused on. So first you need to create a search in order to then create a dashboard. So searches first. As you can see, I have multiple searches here. You do have a limited number of searches, and some of you, I know your accounts came with searches already there. So you can go ahead and click on the ones that are not yours, you didn't create. All right, again, check with your teammates, but clear them out by deleting them. So the reason that I'm pointing this out is because, although you're focusing, many of you, on a single brand, you might also want to create different searches about your competitors, especially if you're something like Dunkin' Donuts and you have, what you want to kind of compare a little more in depth to Starbucks, or if you're doing Adidas and you want to compare to Nike, you would create separate searches for the brands within, again, the search part over here. And also, to reiterate, you have the option of searching news or social. So make sure to go ahead and click down on social to make sure you get the social media posts. You can also do news, but this is not sort of the heart of the project. The heart of the project is really seeing and understanding what consumers are saying, so that would be social. But news might be helpful if you want to search and just see, kind of what is being said in the news media about the brand. So this is especially helpful if you, for instance, see a big spike in discussion about your brand on a certain day. You could do a news search, or you can also simply do a Google search, but to really try to understand what was happening on that day. So that might be a helpful way to use news. But again, we'll just start with social. So typically you want to just start with a keyword. So again, in my example, my example was Listerine before. I'll keep doing Listerine. Why not? Because I know no one else is using it as a project. So you want to probably put in your brand name in here. So Listerine. And go ahead and search. And this will bring up the search feature. So again, this preview window down here is only really a preview. So it helps you assess whether or not your search is good or not, the quality of your search. You can change the date range here. And again, this is just for the preview window. When we go and create dashboards, that's where you can create and alter the date ranges as well. So don't worry about the date ranges here too much. It's only for this preview. But for the sake of being able to see more data, I'm going to do the last 30 days or maybe even a custom range. So we can go back actually 1 year's worth of time. So you can do that manually here or just type it in up here. So since I can go back a whole year, let's see. Okay, now I'm going back a whole year, apply, and now I just have more data to, again, assess how my search is. So just simply by typing the keyword Listerine, this is going to pull up any posts that have the word Listerine, that keyword in it. And you see a few things going on here, hopefully. Well, first of all, there's a lot of Twitter, right? It's kind of overwhelmingly Twitter. That's one thing. Oops. Number two, I see that there are, this looks like a promotion of something. You will see free Listerine strips. Okay. So maybe I don't really want promotions like this. So what I might do here is, for instance, free is kind of that promotion thing. So I might say I don't want free. So if I put in none of these keywords and I add in free, so it's going to show me everything, any posts that have the word Listerine, but does not contain the word free. And I click update. That post should now be removed. Now it is a little tricky, so there we go, it's not there anymore. So that actually removed that post because I thought it was irrelevant. Now it is a little bit tricky because you might say, okay, professor, well, what if someone's talking about like alcohol-free Listerine? This would actually remove posts about alcohol-free or, dye-free or something like that. So I might actually not want to use free. This, you have to really think about the words that you're going to exclude. In that one, I'm not sure, but a lot of promotions, I could potentially exclude the word sale. Okay, you're always, not always, but there's a high probability that you might, in this refining, exclude some relevant ones, but, we can do only the best that we can. So, you'll receive. So this one, I'm not sure. I think I'll just kind of keep it in there because I do think there are some people talking about like alcohol-free Listerine and things like that. But anyway, this will exclude any posts that include the word sale. My example in class was, for instance, Apple. So Apple, a brand, you're probably going to get, any posts that have the word apple in it might be referring to the fruit. So you have to really think about refining and removing keywords that are not related to the brand but are related to the fruit, like recipes, pie, bake, right? Different things like that. As you notice up here, so this actually shows you some top keywords. So this is trying to help you. So you might want to put in keywords here. So for instance, Listerine, if it was Apple, another way to refine would be to add in sort of different products. So I put, in this instance, I'd move mouthwash over here, or iPod or Mac or something that helps me refine in that way. For Listerine, I don't think I have to add in mouthwash, but let me use it as an example. So if I put in mouthwash over here, I can drag it or I could type it in myself. Now when I do this search, basically it is going to show any posts that have the word Listerine in it and at least one of these keywords. So it has to have Listerine and mouthwash. So both have to be present. And it will also exclude any posts that have these words in it. So this example would be any posts that have sale are automatically excluded. Now, as you note, I moved that over, but nothing changed down here. That's because I have to click the update search results at the bottom to actually see any change here. And here it comes. And there should be less posts, right? Because it has to have the word Listerine and mouthwash in it. And as you can see here, Listerine mouthwash, mouthwash Listerine. Okay. So that is here. Now, if I had other ones, like I could say it must have at least one of these: Listerine mouthwash, Listerine strips. Now you'll see here Listerine and strips, Listerine and strips, Listerine and mouthwash. So I've actually expanded it a little bit more. So it has to have either strips or mouthwash in it. And that's what is happening over here. If I put mouthwash and strips in this box, that's actually going to really cut down the number of results. So I have 9,717. So now it has to have all three words in it, right? Listerine, mouthwash, and strips. If I update this, you'll see that my number of posts are going to go way down. So only 74 have all three words in it. So this, I wouldn't recommend doing this because that's really decreasing the number of results I have. Okay, so your job, and this is one of the most important parts, is to really refine and get good quality data here, to really think about what words should be excluded to kind of get out that noise, and how to refine it so you actually have data that's talking about your specific brand, right? As I noted before, there are a couple other things here going on. I can't read some of these posts because I don't speak these specific languages. So you're going to want to remove these languages that you don't understand, right? So maybe some of you have multilingual group members, and that's great. So they could keep in some of these posts. But I personally cannot really read English, anything other than English or French. So I could refine it that way or just make my life simple and just say English only. And here's how I can do that. I go up here and it says all social sources. I'm going to click down, and down here I can actually create a custom selection. And here I have the ability to choose specific sources, specific languages, okay? And this one doesn't really matter. So I'm going to choose just English because that's all. If I want to be inclusive of my entire group, we all speak English. Okay, so now it's only going to give me results that are in English. And I can go ahead and I can save this. I have to give it a name. I'm going to call it English only. So now you can see here I'm filtering English only. So it's going to be anything that has the keyword Listerine in it, doesn't have the word sale, and is only in the English language. And you should see here that now, hopefully, it looks like it did work, that anything that is not English has disappeared. Great. So when you are satisfied, and this is, these results look good to you, you go ahead and you can hit save. And now I'm going to name my search something very descriptive. So Listerine, I even put no sale, English only, right? So this actually tells my group members when they come in that my keywords are about Listerine. You don't maybe have to go this granular and put no sale, but definitely, English only is helpful, so they know this is the English only search. Okay, and now I see it right here. You and your team members can always go in and edit this search. So go ahead and you can click on it. As you see, it pops up again, and you can go ahead and change the name of it. You can add keywords. You can change the filters. Okay, just make sure if you do make changes to let your teammates know and reflect it in the name up here. Another thing I noted here was that there's a lot of Twitter, and Twitter tends to be very short, right? The nature of Twitter, there's not a lot of info here. So you might, if you have a lot of results and a lot of them are Twitter, you might want to refine and, pull So this is actually in the last week. There are over almost 5,000 results in the last week, and again, a lot of them are Twitter. As I just showed you guys, up here, I can actually make a custom selection. So I can create a new custom selection, create new, and I can choose all of these sources except for Twitter. And again, because I only speak English, I'm going to choose English. Where'd you go? Okay. So now you see I have chose English only, and I've chosen all different social sources except for Twitter. So I'm going to go ahead and save this, and I'm going to call this custom selection Listerine, no Twitter, English. Oh, I said I don't have to put Listerine. I'm sorry. This is a filter. No Twitter, English only. Something that makes sense to you. So now you see up here when my teammates come in, they can see that it is filtered for no Twitter, English only. And now I've actually I've reduced it to 359 results, but I can see that there's, no Twitter, so probably deeper content, hopefully. Oh boy. Interesting content. So here it is. Anyway, and again, since I've made this change, I have to actually click save in order for it to now update, so it becomes a no Twitter. So I could create it and I could change it to Listerine, no sale, English only, no Twitter. And again, this is important so my teammates come in, they know exactly what this search is about. So that one is now saved. If I go back to searches, it's this one that I just created right here. Okay. All right. So that is really it with searches. I'm going to stop this video and then I'll create a second one that shows you guys how to use dashboards.